Hey Capricorn, welcome back. Before we dive in, I need to be clear about something. This is a general reading for entertainment purposes, interpreting the energy I see in these cards. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This is not professional advice, whether that is therapy, legal counsel, or medical guidance. I am reading the energy as honestly as I can, and my goal is to give you insight, not absolutes. So let me tell you what happened when I sat down to pull cards about what someone is saying behind your back. The energy was immediate, intense, and layered with complexity. These cards are not holding back, and neither will I. This reading is about understanding not just the words being spoken in your absence, but the motivations, the wounds, and the truth underneath it all. You might be surprised by what comes through. You might even be shocked. But I promise you, by the end of this, you will have clarity. Take a breath and let us begin. The first card practically jumped out of the deck. 5 of Swords. The moment I saw it, I felt this sharp, combative energy. This card shows someone standing with swords in hand, others walking away defeated in the background. It is the energy of winning at all costs, even when the victory is hollow. What this person is saying about you comes from a place of perceived conquest. They believe they won some battle with you, and they are making sure everyone knows it. They are telling people they outsmarted you, saw through you, or came out on top in whatever dynamic existed between you. The problem is, this is not an honorable win. This is the kind of victory that requires manipulation, twisting facts, and selective storytelling. They might be saying they protected themselves from your coldness, that they saw your true colors before you could hurt them, or that they were smart enough not to fall for whatever they claim you were doing. It is all very strategic and very defensive at the same time. What strikes me most is the insecurity underneath this bravado. The 5 of Swords appears when someone feels threatened and is trying to regain power through words. They are building a narrative where they are the intelligent, aware one who escaped unscathed. But the truth? They are intimidated by you. Maybe by your success, your discipline, your ability to see through facades. You have this Capricorn gift of perceiving people exactly as they are, stripped of all pretense, and some people absolutely cannot handle being seen that clearly. So they strike first in conversations with others, defining the story before you get a chance to tell your side. They are collecting ammunition in the form of words, sharpening their version of events, and deploying it strategically. This is not random venting. This is calculated reputation management. Then the 7 of Swords appeared, and everything clicked into sharper focus. This is the card of deception, theft, and sneaky behavior. If the 5 of Swords showed me they are positioning themselves as victorious, the 7 of Swords reveals exactly how they are doing it. They are not being straightforward. They are tiptoeing around, selectively sharing information, and manipulating your narrative. The figure in this card is stealing away with swords, looking over their shoulder, moving in shadows. That is exactly the energy of how this person talks about you. They are not broadcasting their opinions to everyone. They are whispering in specific ears, choosing audiences carefully, and planting seeds of doubt in strategic places. They know who will be sympathetic to their version, who already has questions about you, and who they can influence. Here is what really gets me. They are taking pieces of your truth and reshaping them. Something you shared in confidence becomes twisted when they retell it. Your ambition becomes ruthlessness. Your boundaries become coldness. Your discernment becomes judgment. They are not outright lying, which makes it more insidious. They are cherry-picking details, removing context, and presenting a version of you that serves their agenda. This is theft of your narrative, plain and simple. And the 7 of Swords also tells me they know what they are doing is shady. That is why they are being sneaky about it instead of openly voicing their opinions. They are testing waters, seeing what sticks, always looking back nervously in case they get caught. And I am picking up strong projection energy here. They might be accusing you of the very things they are guilty of. They call you untrustworthy while breaking confidences. They say you are manipulative while twisting narratives. They claim you are calculating while operating from pure self-interest. The Seven of Swords often shows up when someone assumes everyone operates the way they do. So they genuinely believe your integrity must be a performance because that is how they experience the world. The Knight of Cups came next, and this is where the emotional manipulation enters the picture. This knight is romantic, idealistic, and deals in feelings and emotional expression. In this context, they are painting themselves as the sensitive, caring soul who tried to connect with you on a deeper level, but found you unreachable. They are the wounded friend or lover who gave so much, but was met with your walls. They are probably saying they saw potential for softness in you, that they extended emotional invitations you never accepted, that they showed up with an open heart, but you remained focused on everything except the relationship. The narrative has this melancholic quality, like they are the protagonist in a sad story about trying to reach someone who would not let them in. You were always too busy, too serious, too focused on work or goals. You did not value emotional connection the way they do. You broke their heart by prioritizing everything else over them. But let me tell you what is really happening. The Knight of Cups in shadow is emotionally manipulative. This person likely overwhelmed you with intensity that was not sustainable or even genuine. They wanted you to drop everything for their emotional needs, to validate them constantly, to play into fantasies that had no grounding in reality. And when you, being the practical Capricorn you are, did not feed that energy, they felt rejected. You do not do surface-level connections, Capricorn. You want real, earned, tested bonds. This person confused emotional performance with depth, intensity with intimacy, grand gestures with consistent presence. When you did not respond to their approach, they took it personally. Now they are framing you as emotionally unavailable when the truth is you are simply discerning. You do not waste emotional energy on connections without substance. You are not cold. You are protective of your peace and selective about who gets access to your inner world. But they will never frame it that way when they talk about you. The Ace of Cups appeared next, and this card shifted the entire energy of the reading. This is pure emotional potential, genuine feeling, the offer of authentic connection. Despite everything else we have seen, there was something real here at some point. This person experienced a genuine moment with you, a glimpse of what could have been deeper, and that makes everything more complicated. There was a real connection, whether friendship, romance, professional respect, or family understanding. The Ace of Cups represents that pure moment before complications pile up, before expectations become resentments, before disappointment accumulates. They experience that moment with you, and they are still holding on to it even while criticizing you. This creates a contradiction in what they say. They criticize your character and paint you as cold, but they also speak about potential they saw in you. They might say things like, "I know deep down they are capable of more. I have seen their softer side. There were moments we really understood each other. I wish they would let people in because there is such depth there." This mixing of judgment and longing reveals their internal conflict about you. They are speaking from unfulfilled emotional potential. They saw what could have been, and they are mourning it while protecting themselves through critical words. But here is the truth. The Ace of Cups is about emotional honesty and purity. If this connection was meant to develop as they wanted, it would have. The fact that it did not means there was a fundamental mismatch in values, timing, emotional maturity, or authentic compatibility. You felt that mismatch and honored it by not forcing something misaligned. They felt it too, but are projecting blame onto you instead of accepting the incompatibility. Genuine emotional connections do not require force, manipulation, or convincing. They flow naturally when both people are ready, aligned, and truly suited for each other. Death appeared as the fifth card, and I felt this powerful, transformative energy pulse through the reading. This is about profound change, necessary endings, and evolution. They are talking about how you have changed, how you are not the person they once knew, how you have transformed in ways that make you unrecognizable to them. A major part of their narrative positions you as someone who has become different, colder, more distant, more serious. They might be saying you used to be more fun, that success has changed you, that you are consumed with goals and have lost touch with what really matters, that they do not even recognize you anymore. They are mourning the version of you that existed before you stepped fully into your power, before you established firm boundaries, before you became uncompromising in your standards. Here is the beautiful irony. The Death card is one of the most positive cards in tarot when you understand its meaning. It represents necessary evolution, shedding old skin, composting what was so new, growth can emerge. What they are criticizing, what they are discussing behind your back as if it is negative, is actually your transformation into a more authentic, empowered version of yourself. They are uncomfortable with your growth because it means you no longer tolerate what you used to tolerate, you no longer shrink to make others comfortable, you no longer sacrifice your goals and peace for draining relationships. Think about the caterpillar and butterfly. When transformation happens, the caterpillar literally dissolves in the chrysalis. To anyone attached to the caterpillar, the butterfly seems foreign and unreachable because it now has wings and can fly away. This person is attached to the caterpillar version of you. They were comfortable with who you were before you claimed your full power, before you set boundaries, before you had wings. Now that you have transformed, they feel like they have lost access, and they talk about that loss as your failure instead of your evolution. What they say reflects their inability to grow with you, to celebrate your transformation, to respect who you are becoming. They speak from being left behind, and instead of examining why they cannot keep up or why they are not invited into this chapter, they criticize the changes themselves. What they perceive as coldness or distance is actually you becoming whole, clear, and uncompromising. The Queen of Cups appeared sixth, bringing this energy of emotional mastery, deep intuition, and compassionate boundaries. This queen feels everything, understands emotional undercurrents, and chooses her responses wisely. In this reading, she reveals something crucial about their perception of you. They might actually be saying surprisingly insightful things about you mixed with criticism. They acknowledge your emotional depth, your ability to read people, your intuitive nature, your capacity for compassion. They might say you always know what people are really feeling, you see right through facades, you have incredible insight when you open up. But these observations come with resentment woven through them. What they are really talking about is your emotional power and how it makes them feel exposed. You have this ability to observe and understand emotional dynamics without getting swept up in them. You can be in chaotic situations and maintain your center. You witness manipulation and simply choose not to engage. This frustrates people who are used to getting reactions, who rely on pushing buttons and creating drama. When you do not give them that reaction, when you respond with calm clarity or strategic silence, they feel powerless. They might say you are so controlled it is scary, you never reveal what you are really thinking, you keep everything close, you have this composure that makes people feel judged. What they are describing is your emotional sovereignty. You have worked hard to develop the ability to feel deeply without being controlled by feelings, to understand emotions without being manipulated by them, to offer compassion without sacrificing boundaries. The Queen of Cups also suggests projection of their emotional instability onto you. They call you cold when they are overwhelmed. They say you lack empathy when you refuse to enable their patterns. They claim you do not care when you care enough to hold boundaries instead of engaging in codependency. The Queen of Cups operates from emotional maturity, and that maturity looks like indifference to people accustomed to chaos, feeling like connection. The Eight of Cups came through seventh, and I felt the energy of necessary departure, of walking away from what no longer nourishes. They are focused on how you left, how you walked away, how you moved on from whatever existed between you. This is central to their narrative. They talk about your departure as cold, sudden, or unjustified. They might say you walked away without looking back. You abandoned them when things got difficult. You gave up too easily. You always leave when people need you most. You cannot handle real intimacy, so you run. The Eight of Cups shows someone leaving stacked cups behind, heading toward mountains in the distance. To the cups left behind, this looks like rejection. To the person walking, it is seeking fulfillment those cups could never provide. They are conveniently leaving out crucial context. The Eight of Cups represents necessary departure after recognizing emotional investment is not reciprocated, that the situation has become stagnant, that staying would mean betraying your growth and truth. You did not leave because you are cold or incapable of commitment. You left because you are deeply committed to your evolution, your peace, relationships that honor your worth. You left because you finally loved yourself enough to stop accepting crumbs when you deserve abundance. They are taking your departure personally, as if your choice to prioritize well-being is a statement about their inadequacy. Maybe it is, on some level. Maybe your leaving reflected that they were not willing or able to meet you where you needed to be met. Maybe your walking away was the clearest communication that the dynamic was not serving your highest good. But instead of self-reflection, they make you the villain in an abandonment story. The Eight of Cups also carries spiritual seeking energy, looking for deeper meaning and authentic connection. They might say you are too focused on your journey, too interested in development, too committed to your path to properly invest in relationships. They frame your self-development, ambition, spiritual growth, or dedication to goals as selfishness or inability to prioritize people. But this card knows you cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot build genuine connections from self-abandonment. The King of Wands burst into this reading as the eighth card, bringing powerful energy of leadership, charisma, vision, and natural authority. This king commands respect through presence and capability. Here he reveals they talk about your power, your success, your ability to manifest vision, your achievements. They discuss your ambition, drive, and success with an edge of resentment and jealousy. They might say you are obsessed with success to the exclusion of everything else. You step on people to get ahead. You use charm and intelligence to manipulate. You always need control or to be the best. Your confidence is actually arrogance. They are both impressed and threatened, and that contradiction permeates their words. The King of Wands knows what he wants and pursues it with strategic passion. This is your Capricorn nature amplified by fire energy. You have vision, you create plans, you execute with discipline, and you do not apologize for ambition or results. This intimidates people not operating at that level, not willing to do the work, comfortable with mediocrity. When they see you building while they make excuses, something triggers in them. Instead of using you as inspiration or examining their patterns, they tear you down in conversations. They might say your success came easily, you had advantages, you are ruthless or calculated, you do not deserve what you have achieved. Classic tall poppy syndrome. They want to cut you down because your height makes them feel small. The King of Wands does not diminish himself for anyone, and you embody that. You stopped playing small. You claimed your throne. You stepped into power without asking permission. That makes people seeking external validation very uncomfortable. They might also talk about your leadership as controlling. Say you always need attention, you manipulate with charisma, you surround yourself with people who feed your ego. What they are really describing is your natural ability to lead, to vision cast, to rally people around ideas, to create momentum. People gravitate toward King of Wands energy because it is inspiring, warm, and directional. You know where you are going, and that clarity attracts. They reframe your leadership as manipulation because they cannot stand that people choose to follow you. The King of Cups appeared ninth, representing emotional mastery at the highest level, integration of feeling and wisdom, compassion balanced with discernment. This king has done the inner work, understands depths of human experience, and holds space for others while maintaining sovereignty over his emotional world. On some level, perhaps unconsciously, they recognize your emotional evolution and maturity. The King of Cups suggests their words include acknowledgement of your wisdom, your composure in difficult situations, your capacity to understand complex dynamics, your skill in navigating relationships with maturity. But resentment weaves through these observations. They might say, "You always have to be the wise one. You act like you have everything figured out emotionally. You make people feel like they are overreacting. You have a superior attitude about feelings. You judge people for not being as controlled." What they describe is your hard-won emotional intelligence. You have been through experiences that taught you emotional regulation, responding instead of reacting, creating healthy boundaries, maintaining your center in turbulent waters. The King of Cups transforms emotional wounds into wisdom, alchemizes pain into compassion, learns to feel everything while being controlled by nothing. This is not coldness. This is emotional sovereignty. But to people still reactive, still controlled by feelings, who use emotions as weapons or manipulation, your mastery looks like detachment or superiority. They interpret calm as judgment, boundaries as rejection, wisdom as condescension. Having both the Queen and King of Cups in this reading shows you embody receptive, intuitive, nurturing emotional energy, and authoritative, wise, boundaried emotional energy. You hold space and you hold the line. You can be compassionate and firm. You understand pain and still refuse to enable patterns. This balanced emotional power is rare and makes people operating from emotional extremes uncomfortable. They cannot categorize you. They cannot manipulate you with tears or rage. They cannot guilt or pressure you. When they realize this, they talk about you as the problem. The King of Cups also suggests some statements might be veiled compliments or acknowledgments of strength. They might tell others to be careful because you see everything. You never miss real intentions. You have incredible emotional intelligence, even if you do not show it obviously. Once you lose their trust, you will never get it back. These reveal their awareness of your power, even as they try to frame it negatively. The 10th and final card is the Ace of Swords, and it cuts through everything with piercing clarity. This is mental clarity, truth, breakthrough understanding, clear communication, and the power of discernment. As the final card in this reading, it delivers a powerful message about what is being said and what you need to know. The Ace of Swords tells me truth will cut through all these narratives. The strategic talking, emotional manipulation of perception, resentful commentary, mixed messages, all of it will eventually be seen for what it is. Truth has a way of emerging, and this ace is that emergence. Clarity breaking through fog, light piercing darkness, understanding cutting through confusion. People hearing things about you will eventually see the contradictions, projections, motivations behind the words. Truth reveals itself. But the Ace of Swords speaks directly to you, Capricorn. You have the mental clarity and discernment to see this situation exactly as it is. You are not fooled by narratives being spun. You understand that what people say about you behind your back reveals more about them than you. You have the intellectual and intuitive sharpness to recognize projection, identify insecurity masquerading as criticism, see jealousy dressed as concern. The Ace of Swords is your weapon and tool, your ability to cut through emotional manipulation and see bare truth. There may be a moment, perhaps soon, where their words are exposed or you gain concrete clarity about what has been said. The Ace of Swords often indicates breakthrough moments, sudden realizations, information coming to light, conversations revealing truth. You might find out specifically what was said or have an interaction making everything click. When that happens, use your discernment, speak your truth if necessary, but also recognize that sometimes the highest power is simply knowing truth and choosing how much energy it deserves. This card is also about new perspectives and mental breakthroughs. What they have said, once you fully understand and see it clearly, might actually give you valuable information. Not because their perspective is accurate, but because it shows you who they truly are, what they value, where they operate from, why the connection ended or shifted. This clarity, painful as it might initially be, is actually a gift. It confirms your intuition was right, your boundaries necessary, your departure justified, your transformation essential. Finally, the Ace of Swords encourages you to claim your narrative. You do not need to defend yourself to everyone or correct every misperception, but you have the right and power to speak your truth when it matters. The sword cuts both ways. It can defend and attack. But wielded with integrity and precision, it simply reveals what is real. Your truth, your story, your experience, your perspective matters. People who truly know you, who have earned access to your inner world, who have witnessed your integrity and heart, they know the real you. Their knowing is worth more than 1,000 words spoken in your absence by someone who never truly understood you. Capricorn, everything this person is saying filters through their wounds, insecurities, limitations, and inability to rise to the level you operate at. The Five of Swords showed hollow victory built on manipulation. The Seven of Swords revealed strategic deception and narrative control. The Knight of Cups showed emotional performance masquerading as depth. The Ace of Cups reminded us something real existed once, and that loss colors their words. Death revealed they mourn the old version of you they could access or control. The Queen of Cups showed they recognize your emotional power, but resent it. The Eight of Cups confirmed they talk about your departure as abandonment when it was liberation. The King of Wands revealed they discuss your success with admiration and jealousy. The King of Cups showed awareness of your emotional mastery interpreted as superiority. And the Ace of Swords assured us truth prevails, clarity emerges, and you have discernment to see it all exactly as it is. What someone says about you in rooms you are not in says nothing about who you actually are. It speaks volumes about who they are, what they value, where they are on their journey, what they struggle with internally. You are not required to shrink, dim your light, slow your growth, or compromise standards to make others comfortable. You are not responsible for managing other people's insecurities, jealousies, or unhealed wounds. You are not obligated to stay in connections that do not serve your evolution just because someone will talk badly if you leave. Your transformation is sacred. Your boundaries are necessary. Your discernment is a gift. Your success is earned. Your emotional sovereignty is powerful. Your truth is unshakable. Let them talk. Let them create whatever narratives they need to feel better about not keeping up, not accessing you, not controlling you, not being chosen by you. Their words are noise. What matters is what you know about yourself, what people who truly know you understand about your character and where you are headed. You are building something real, lasting, aligned with your highest values and deepest truth. No amount of gossip, narrative building, or emotional manipulation can take that away. Keep walking your path, keep setting boundaries, keep choosing peace, keep evolving, keep building, keep leading. Trust that truth always reveals itself. The Ace of Swords has spoken. Clarity is yours.